Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. It's going to be a small one, a little cozy one tonight, because this is our first ever like members only stream. We've done these a few times before, like an end of series Q&A when we finish like a video series, and I've just finished Demon Souls and I had quite a lot of opinions on it, so I thought I'd do one again. We've got a few questions from the Discord that I'll go through. You know, if people aren't here, that's fine, because we've got the questions from the Discord. I'll go through them. This live stream, if you are a member, then you can view it and you'll be able to ask questions in the live chat and stuff. If you're not, then it will go up as a video to be watched, that you know that anyone can watch straight after this. So don't worry, everyone will get a chance to watch it. Right, let's get stuck in. So Hyperfrosting asked me what bit of the game made me rage the most. I think it's safe to say it was man-eater. Horrible loss. Like, man, just such like it just like threw in all the worst things that you could have. Like, you know, it's in such a tight, small arena where it will all up tight in that you can very easily fall off. Two bosses at once, lovely, and tough bosses as well. And like, each one of them is individually pretty tough. I mean, fighting one of them. First time I went in, I thought there was only one, and that was hard enough as it was. Fighting one is tough. Fighting two is tougher. Fighting them on a very narrow, like, bridgeway is even tougher. Yeah, like, that was... I haven't raged like that in a Souls game for ages, and I had to leave them for a bit, go away, do some different areas. That's one of the cool things about Demon Souls. You can kind of... You know, if you're fed up with something, because it's so open and you can just go to whatever world you want, you can just go off and be like, nah, I'll go to a different world, do something else for a bit, fight a different boss, and then you can kind of, you know, you'll level up, you'll get stronger, more health, you know, you're stronger and all that stuff, and then you can come back, and it's just a little bit easier, which is what I have to do, because I left him right to the end. Hello, emzee. Yeah, I left him right to the end. So yeah, that #1 rage easily. Only found it by the Discord. That is annoying. Thankfully, I have posted it in the Discord for the members section. Should be visible on YouTube, but oh, hello, Hyper. There's Hyper. I've just answered your question, Hyper. I hope you were here. If not, the video will be uploaded like straight after this anyway. So, yeah. Right, so next up was Malin's classic question, what my favourite boss and my least favourite boss. I mean, there's a few different ways of looking at it. Arguably, man-eater's my least favourite, because I just hated him. But that was for different, that's just because he's hard. Like, that's not really, like, that's not fair. She's not saying which is the easiest and which is the hardest. You know, I only hate them because of the, in a ragey kind of way. You know, I actually thought he was a pretty cool boss, or they were a pretty cool boss. I mean, I think it's the worst boss has got to be the end of game boss. It's just garbage. He is a blob that does. He literally didn't attempt to attack me. Now, I don't know, I mean, I happen to have a bow and arrow, but I'm sure by that point, everyone in the game by that point is going to have a bow and arrow, or some magic, or some fire bombs, or something. So I don't know, maybe if you go into the water to fight him, it's a lot harder, but it was a bit of a joke. How easily I killed him. So yeah, he's got to be the worst boss in the game, just like... And of all the bosses to do that for as well, the final boss, like, you know, I know some would say it's a story boss, but the final boss, and then the final boss has got to be this, like, big beast that you overcome, and just, it couldn't have been any less. Not having, like, a massive go at the game, because, like, I love the game, but that was fairly poor, I thought. Because it is the proper final boss. It's mental. I mean, when you compare it to the likes of Dark Souls, like Soul of Cinder and God, I can't even remember what the woman's called in Dark Souls 2. And then Gwyn. They're like really tough bosses. They're all really good bosses as well. But yeah, that was definitely the worst boss. Best boss? There's a lot of good ones. I think I might pick the Tower Knight. Just, you know, he's just like proper epic, and you know, it's a very iconic boss. I remember seeing him in the PS5 reveal, and that was kind of one of the few bosses that I'd already seen before this. Reminds me of what a letdown the final boss of Breath of the Wild was. Yeah, exactly. Like, you want the final boss to be this like epic clash, not like, oh god, he's like, you know, especially in a hard game. It's weird if you're playing a really hard game and then suddenly the end game boss is just a joke. But yeah, so yeah, one of the things I love about this, which I'll talk about in a sec, is the kind of variety of the bosses, and they're not like, I love Dark Souls bosses. So, you know, before I played this game, Dark Souls bosses were all I knew, and I loved them, and I still love them. But it's fair to say that they have a tendency to have large things, like either a big guy, or a big woman, or a big bull, or you know, it's some big creature swinging a big weapon. They like to do that a lot. Hey, someone just subscribed. Clearly not via the live stream because they wouldn't be a member, but hey, that's alright. Yep, I'll turn the game volume down right now. Yeah, so sorry about that. Was it really loud? I'm sorry. Right, let me know if that's alright. Yeah, so up until that point, all I knew was Dark Souls bosses, which, you know, again, they're great, but they are heavily, you know, person with a big weapon. And so once you kind of get the hang of it, you realize it's just like, especially if you use a shield, it's like, hold up your shield, now say everything you said prior to this point. Was it that loud? Oh no. Was it really that bad? But yeah, so, oh god, apologies. I'll have to put like a, I don't know, I can't put a timestamp, can I? Well, I could, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so, once you get the hang of that, through the Souls games and stuff, you realise, you know, it's just hold your shield up, circle around them, hit a couple of times, back off, hit a couple of times, back off, you know. You could, you know, there's a very, very like solid pattern to beating most Dark Souls bosses. But Demon Souls is there's way more variety. I'd say maybe half of the bosses are more like puzzle bosses, where you've got it's more about figuring out how to hurt them than it is about, you know, getting the damage in. You know, a lot of Dark Souls bosses are, it's, you know, it's like a test of stamina. It's like, can you get enough damage in before they whittle down your health? Whereas Demon Souls was a lot more about figuring out how to hurt them, and I like that. And Tower Knight is a testament to that, and B, just looks really cool. You know, really cool arena. He looks like an absolute beast. He's got the crossbow dudes to assist him. It's just a really cool boss fight. Now, Claudio, I'm going to come to something in a minute from one of Claudio's questions, because he's asked two questions. One is, what do I think that they've improved in the series since, you know, after Demon Souls? So what was going on in Demon Souls that they have since improved? And I actually think it's a testament to how good Demon Souls is, that they haven't improved that much, I don't think. Like, and I don't mean that in a bad way at all. It just means that they already got it so right at the start. You know, the things that they've improved really are real, like little, just little things like quality of life changes. Like, if you've got 5 Souls of a Lost Dead and you want to cash them in in future games you can cash them in all in one go instead of cash one in, back to the menu, cash one in, back to the menu, cash one in, you know, and it just takes ages. Like little quality of life things like that, they've improved. But otherwise, I've got to say, it plays just like Dark Souls 1. And, you know, I don't know, and I say that as a compliment. Dark Souls 1's amazing. Like, and to be honest, the one thing that I was really surprised with when I first started playing it was that it kind of looks like Dark Souls 1. Like, this game's really old. Like 10 years or something? And I don't know what the time period gap is between Demon Souls and Dark Souls 1. But I think it's a few years. And this looks pretty much as good as Dark Souls, I'd say. If not just as good. Like, yeah, the graphics are quality. So yeah, I mean, they as I say, I don't think they've improved that much. Same with me, didn't get a notification. Outrageous, Al. Well, it's only going to be like a 20-minute stream or something, or half an hour maybe. Depends how much I can ramble on. And then as soon as I'm done, it'll go like available on the live stream. Wait, Demon Souls and Skyrim came out at the same time? I don't know. Don't quote me. I think it's about 10 years old, but I'm not 100. Like, I'm really not. I wouldn't bet my life on it. My point being that this is quite old. I mean, this is a PS3 exclusive, so, and the PS4 is 7 or 8 years old now. So it's definitely at least, it must be at least 7 or 8 years old, because it wasn't even on this gen of consoles, or I guess technically last gen now because we're on PS5. So yeah, it was only on PS3, so it must be like, I don't know, you can Google it. I reckon it must be nearly 10 years old. And as I say, so it's probably a few years older than Dark Souls 1. And to me looks pretty much the same. Which is good. But yeah, so to answer Claudio's question, I don't think they've improved that much between this and the rest of the series, apart from a few little quality of life tweaks. But that's because they got it so good this time around. The only thing I would say is that there's a really stupid item burden. Well, I think it's stupid. Maybe that's just because I've played all the other ones and they don't have it. A stupid like item burden mechanic in this. So like you've got your equipment burden, which, you know, is how much armor and swords you can have equipped at once, and that determines whether you fat roll or fast roll or whatever. But then you've also got an item burden, which is how many items you can carry at once, which is just a needless annoyance. Like you basically have to go back. Yeah, that is really annoying, man. It is, I should say, by the way, Demon Souls is 12 years old. Oh my god, look at that then. I mean, look at these graphics. You can see them right here. 12 years old. This looks glorious. That's older than I thought it was. That's nuts. I can't quite believe it. I mean, I believe you, obviously. That is insane. But yeah, yeah, so they've got this item burden thing, kind of like Fallout and Elder Scrolls, where you've got like, you're only allowed to carry a certain amount of, you know, items, and obviously, you know, a sword weighs more than an apple or whatever, but you know, each item's got like an assigned a value of like how much it weighs, but you're only allowed to carry a certain amount. And it's just a bit annoying. It's not like, I don't know, it doesn't really add anything to the game, and it's just, all it means is that when you go back to your like Firelink Shrine, you just speak to like the guy who's the inventory guy and just unload everything. And you do that probably like once every time you finish an area. So it's, I mean, it's not a massive, like, it's not like a massive thing that causes you trouble, but it's just like, it just doesn't do anything. Just get rid of it, which I guess is why they got rid of it. It's just, I don't know, there's no point. Waste of time. I'm all about, I'm all about the speedrun strats. Don't waste my time and making me unload my inventory once every area. And then the other question from Claudio is, which elements of this game did I like that they haven't used in future games? And I think for that, it's all about, which I kind of talked about earlier a little bit, it's all about the variety of the bosses. Just like, I mean, I think I've got a list here of the bosses. Like, I have and I'll just go through them briefly. The Adjudicator is basically a puzzle boss. You've got to kind of figure out where to hit him. The Armor Spider, not a puzzle boss, but really unique. Really kind of, you've got to fight him in a narrow chamber where he shoots fire down it, and you can get caught in webs and whatever. That again, compared to big guy with a big axe or whatever, really unique boss. Dirty Colossus is a bit of a kind of standard Dark Souls boss. Dragon God, one of the archdemons, 100% puzzle boss. Like, you don't even hit him. Literally 100% puzzle boss. Flame Lurker, he's a classic Dark Souls guy. It's funny because the bosses that I struggled with were the ones that everyone thinks are easy, and the ones that I found easy are the ones that everyone else thinks are hard. But I think the ones that I found easy, that are supposed to be hard, were all the ones that were just like stereotypical Dark Souls bosses. Like the end of game boss, he just plays like a Dark Souls boss. Flame Lurker just plays like a Dark Souls boss. The Penetrator just plays like a Dark, So all those ones that just play out like a Dark Souls boss, I breeze through. I guess because I'm played like 300 hours of Dark Souls or whatever, so I'm good at those type. But yeah, King Gallant, pretty standard. Fool's Idol. I mean, that's very much a unique boss. Bit cheeky, to be honest. Thankfully I didn't get stung by that, but finding out how that works, that's a bit dirty. But unique all the same, you got to give it to them. Leechmonger, again, they're throwing the leeches at you and they like sap your health. I mean, that is unique. Maneater, well, it's a double, but it's a gargoyles, isn't it, or that kind of thing. I guess not super unique, but it's good. I suppose this came before the gargoyles, so it was the, I guess the double boss fight. Old Hero, apparently he's blind. I mean, he was just a big guy waving a big sword, to be fair. Maiden Estrella. Now, I was made to feel like a bad person for killing her. And my understanding was that she had sent a knight out to kill me. Now, that seems like she sent someone out to kill me. I'm going to get some vengeance. But I don't know. Apparently, she was, I shouldn't have killed her. No, I think she deserved. The Old Monk. Again, super cool, unique boss idea. Sadly, I didn't get to kind of properly experience it. So the way that's supposed to work is that the boss summons someone else to fight you, and if the online servers were still going, it would summon an actual player to do, like someone like PvP. It would summon a real player to fight against me. And that would obviously be hard because I suck at PvP. But as it was, the servers are offline now, so I just got thrown in against like a generic NPC who was crap and got battered. But yeah, the idea is, again, really cool idea. Penetrator, yeah, he's just a Dark Souls boss. Phalanx, again, really cool boss. Apparently I taught a few people that he can heal himself if you take long enough to kill him. Everyone else was like, oh, I killed him so fast, I didn't even know he could heal himself. Who else have we got? Storm King, again, not quite a puzzle boss, but definitely unique. It was like a ranged battle. I was fighting against the giant mantis in the sky. Tower Knight, unique again. Vanguard is just the Vanguard is the Asylum Demon. Or the Silent Demon is Vanguard, rather. Because this came first. But yeah, so I'd say about half of those bosses are very unique, not just guy with a big weapon. Here we are, by the way, at the what I will consider the final boss. He's not the final boss. He bloody should be. This is if this was the final boss, I could go out thinking, yeah, this is a good final boss. Not so much the blob. He even looks final bossy. Oh, again, like there's a cool, well, I say cool mechanic. It's not cool when you experience it yourself. He can do a move where he grabs you and he literally saps your soul levels off you. You know, so your soul level is your levels. Every time you put a level into strength or vitality or endurance or whatever, you know, that's just your soul level goes up by 1. He can sap your soul levels off you, so literally steal your levels, which is such a brutal, cruel mechanic. Like, if you were bad, if you were a proper noob and got battered by this guy, you know, you could be 5 or 10 levels lower than when you first start fighting him, and then it's just going to be even harder. Thankfully, I came out okay. Everyone else was probably killing the slime things from behind instead of whacking at them from the front where their shields, you know? Well, but the whole point is, I appreciate that, but the whole point is, it's a phalanx, isn't it? The whole point is, like, they were a circle of shields. They were kind of, you know, they were all circling around the big boss, trying to protect it. So the shields were everywhere. It was hard to kind of, like, get through the shields. I don't know. Maybe I did make a meal of it. I don't know. When I replay the game, which I'm sure I will, because I always do with Souls games. I love them. Maybe I'll just batter it first time. Who knows? That just sounds like a bad mechanic. It's it's definitely harsh. Like, I could see how it could, like, if you got a bit unlucky or you just went, you know, some people just aren't as quick at picking up boss patterns and whatever. You could easily die a few times and lose a bunch of levels along the way. There we go, soul level drained. Beautiful. Thankfully, he only got a chance to do it on me once. This is the point where I'm like, run away! And then he stabs me in the back like a card. But no, I still think he's a cool boss. And if he'd have been the end of game boss, it would have been better. But yeah, so the only thing, so that's, I guess, Claudio's question answered, is that if there's one thing that they could have carried through through to the later games that they didn't, would be more variety in the boss fights. Because, oh, that's another thing as well, actually. There's tons and tons of cutscenes in Demon Souls, and I don't understand why they dropped it. Like, generally, you know, as gaming has gone on and progressed through the years, you know, like, PS1 had a few cutscenes here and there when they were like, they finally got the ability to do a few. And then PS2 had more cutscenes because they were like, look, we've got really good graphics now, we're going to show them off. And then PS3 were like, well, the graphics are even better now, we're going to make stuff like The Last of Us, which is basically just a film. Sorry. And then, you know, like, and as time has gone on and graphical ability has gone on, they've just gone, a lot of games have gone more and more cutscene heavy, which is fine if you're into that thing, I think. But obviously, so you would expect that as they've progressed throughout the series, they've either gone more and more cutscenes, or at least kind of kept it about the same. But this has got loads and loads of cutscenes. Like cutscenes for just dialogue between NPCs and you, cutscenes for loads of the bosses, all kinds of cutscenes everywhere. And then the later ones have got hardly any. So, I mean, it's not a big deal, but the cutscenes are quite cool. And there's loads in this, and none in, well, not none in future games, but a few. I don't know why they took that, like, step back. Because obviously in the future games, they had the ability to make, you know, pretty cutscenes. They just chose not to, I guess. Yeah, the other thing I wanted to say, so we've done all the questions now. The only thing I wanted to say is that it's incredible how much is, And I don't want to use the word stolen, because that's not the right word. Of course, game franchises are going to borrow from themselves. That's why it's a franchise. You know, Zelda borrows from itself, Mario borrows, you know, but wow. Like, I heard, before playing this game, I heard a lot of people say that they were annoyed with Dark Souls 1 because Dark Souls 1 was basically like, they felt like it was just like a remaster of Demon Souls. And boy, I can like, I don't agree. I think, you know, this is plenty different enough to be its own game, and it's really, really good. However, the levels of theft, oh, it's crazy how much it, like, I mean, so many, like, the fifth world, which is the swampy place. I mean, that is Blighttown. It just is. It looks not just even because of the swamp, but just the planks that you walk across. The whole look of the area is the same. Loads of the enemies are the same. He moves. I was going to comment on this earlier. This boss that I'm fighting right now, Old King Gallant, he moves exactly like Ornstein. Or is it Smaug? I always forget which one's which. Not the fat one. Pikachu. He moves like Pikachu. Because Pikachu, I'll keep calling him Pikachu because I don't know which one he is. Pikachu has this thing where he like launches towards you with his spear. And if you dodge out the way, he can, even if you dodge out the way, if you dodge out the way too early, he can just like switch direction mid-lunge and just like home in on you. And this guy does exactly the same thing. The Man-Eater, arguably just the Gargoyles boss. Oh, there was loads of bosses that I can think of. I mean, they're not coming to mind now. But there's a lot of the game where I just thought, wow, that's taken from Dark Souls, that's Dark Souls, that's, you know, and I suppose that you could arguably say similar about Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2 or whatever, so it's not a problem, but you can just see where the inspiration has come. You can see where they've thought, oh, we loved a lot of these ideas, or maybe they thought, this was great, you know, we wish we could have done it better. We'll do it again. Or maybe it's even the fact that this game, as I'm sure many of you know, this game didn't do particularly well. Well, it didn't do particularly well. It certainly didn't do particularly well in the West. It did, I think, for a long time. Well, it didn't even release in the West. So it was mainly in Japan. It was mainly released in Japan. And so, you know, it wasn't particularly popular. So maybe when they released Dark Souls and they thought, you know, we've got a bit more money, we're going to make a bit of a higher budget game, we're going to sell it to the whole world. Maybe they thought, well, you know, a lot of these customers aren't going to have experienced Demon Souls before. So let's, like, you know, it's almost like a chance to kind of show off all the things that we did in Demon Souls and improve them a bit, maybe. But yeah, so like what I'm trying to say is that there's a lot of stuff in this where you can be like, oh, that's like the gargoyle fight, or that's like Ornstein and Smaug, or that, you know, a lot of stuff like that. But I don't kind of put that down as like a massive negative or anything. The game, I think the game's amazing. I'm really looking forward to playing it on the PS5 one day. Again, I said this for a while now, I'm not going to get a PS5 for one game. I couldn't get a PS5 even if I wanted to, because there's just no stock anywhere. But even if I could, obviously we're doing all the house renovations and stuff now, we're putting all our money into that. And I'm not going to, I wouldn't, even if we weren't doing the house renovations, I'm not going to buy you know, a 500 quid day one console when there's literally only one game that I want to play. And that one game is a remake of a game that I just played anyway. Because apparently the remake is, apart from graphical changes and quality of life things, apparently it's virtually identical. So yeah, definitely not paying like 500 plus a £70 game to experience something I just played here. But yeah, and sometime in the future, maybe when Final Fantasy VII Part 2 comes out, maybe Final Fantasy 16, that kind of stuff, I'll end up getting a PS5, and no doubt I'll get this when it's cheaper, and I'll play it again, and I may even platinum it. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to playing it again. A few areas I'm not looking forward to, mainly the swamp. But yeah, like, I thought it was brilliant. It's up there for me with the other Dark Souls. It was really cool to kind of, I won't ramble on too much more, I promise. But I was just gonna say, it's really cool to kind of, like, I wanted to, you know, go back and see where it all began, and sometimes you can do that, and it can ruin your. You can be like, oh, I shouldn't have gone back. You know what I mean? Like, I think, imagine you were someone who, like, you know, you're only like 16 or something, and your only experience of Mario Kart is Mario Kart 8 on the Switch, and you think it's amazing because it is, and then you think, oh, I'm gonna go back and play the SNES game. I think if you know, SNES Mario Kart, I think if you did that, you'd be like, oh my god, what the hell is this? This is awful. Like, you know, it's I know SNES 1 is good. It was good at the time, but they've come a long way now, and yeah, so I just sometimes you could go back to the roots and think, oh god, I think I'll just keep the modern ones, thanks. But this is like, so you know, I could have had it ruined for me and thought, oh no, this is garbage. But it isn't. It's just as good as the rest, I think. I'd say it's better than 3. Because 3 is my least favourite. Not that 3's not... 3's still like a 10 out of 10 game. They're all amazing. But I'd say 3 is my least favourite. 2 is probably my favourite. So I'd probably go 2, 1, Demon Souls 3. If I was forced to pick an order. Yeah, they're all brilliant though. Oh yeah, the lady who... You know, that's been reused in subsequent games, the lady, not only a lady in like Firelink Shrine who levels you up, but also a blind lady. They reused that it was a blind lady. But yeah, loads of reused stuff, but good stuff. If you're gonna reuse something, make sure it's good. But yeah, so I think we're gonna wrap it up there. As I say, the video will be live. We've only gone for about half an hour. The video will be live for you guys to watch back, and for everyone else who's not a member to also watch for the first time in probably like 5 minutes or something when YouTube finish processing it. But yeah, all in all, 10 out of 10. Beast of a game. Can't recommend it enough. Looking forward to playing it on the PS5 sometime in the future. I'm not in a big rush to do it, but I will do it one day, I'm sure. Yeah, I love it. I would, anyone who's got a PS3 laying around, because annoyingly the reason it took a long time for me to get it was because it never got ported to the PS4, which is so annoying, and it's not backwards. PS4 is not backwards compatible. So I could only play it when I eventually got a PS3. If you have got a PS3, I can't recommend it enough. Yeah, even if you're a bit scared of Dark Souls games, I'd still recommend it, because it's not that hard, and there's a few more like puzzly bosses than Dark Souls bosses and stuff. It's good. Give it a go, peeps. It's an amazing game. I'll leave it there. I will be with you very soon. We're starting 2 more series on the channel that are going to kind of alternate. I'm going to be doing Resident Evil 4 on the PS4, by the way. Never played it before. And I'm going to be doing Final Fantasy V. Never played that before either. And we're going to be alternating episodes between those 2. Gives people a chance, you know, if you're only watching one or the other, then it gives you a chance to make sure you're caught up and you don't get behind too fast and then you can't keep up and whatnot. So I'll be alternating between those 2 games for the next few weeks until I complete them.
Let us proceed.
Hope you've all had fun. I will see you all very soon. Leave a thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Bye.